Miata. We're here with Stu and DJ. We're going to be doing a little bit of a podcast episode for you, and we're going to discuss some topics like how to get into drifting at all, what kind of things you're going to want to bring to the track when you get into drifting, how you even would find your first drift event, maybe what the best first car might be. So I'm Thomas Miata. I've got an LS swap Miata. It has an LQ9 in it, nitrous, makes about 545 wheel horsepower. It's got a Jericho 4-speed, a winner's rear end. It's just a blast around the track. Check out some of the videos if you want to see that. We'll throw it on over to...
Hey guys, I'm Stuart. I would consider myself a novice drifter. I've been drifting for about 2 years now. I've probably got about maybe 6 or 7 events under my belt. And I have the LS swapped drift Fox body that you guys see here in the background.
Hey, I'm DJ. I want to start drifting, but I started going to events last year, and I've just been mostly doing media and trying to connect with people. Like, I started hanging out with Thomas yesterday, met Stu today, so hopefully I get some help with drifting and getting started.
We're going to let DJ kind of run the show here and ask the questions, and we'll just respond accordingly.
So how does one, without any experience with any events or anything, get into drifting?
I don't know, I'm going to steal your answer from practice. Basically, first off, go to a drift event. Meet some people, talk to them about their setups, and see what they did to get into drifting.
A ride-along as well, very crucial.
Oh yeah, ride-alongs are crucial, absolutely. So, go to an event, go to 2 events, whatever, get the most out of those events. But in order for you to actually get yourself onto the track, you've got to get yourself a car. Do not drift your daily driver, because if you break it, you can't go to work. And if you're drifting it, that's all you're going to be thinking about the whole time. So don't build a drift car. Everybody says, oh, I want XY chassis with KZ swap, whatever you want to call it.
1,000 horsepower.
Yeah, 1,000 horsepower, whatever. Or you see somebody's car that you like, and you want that car for yourself for drifting. But the problem with that is most people just don't have the perseverance to see a build through. Yeah. And I've seen so many people fail at doing their drift builds, and they just kind of give up on it and go on to the next thing when there's something that they really could have gotten good at. So rather than building a car, you want to start with your basic car, which we'll get into later, and get yourself to the track in a car.
So start going to events is the most important thing, and get yourself a part of the community.
Absolutely.
To kind of speak to what Stu was talking about in practice, if you're too far away to get to a track easily for your first event, you can also still reach out to people online. I had plenty of people talk to me online that were FD drivers and things like that when I was nobody. I'm still pretty much nobody, in my opinion, and the small amount of followers I have, I highly appreciate everybody, of course. This type of stuff doesn't happen without help, and
lots of help
and time.
Yeah, Stu was basically saying if you can't get to the track, you can reach out in other ways, basically.
Yeah, the internet.
Right through the internet. A lot of people are connected at this point, and everyone's got the phone right in their pocket ready to go. So don't be afraid to reach out. The answer is always no if you never ask.
So what type of cars do you guys recommend to get into it?
So asking you a little bit of a follow-up question on that one. What kind of budget do you think someone like yourself would be able to work with?
I think at the minimum you need at least $3,000 just for the car. Right?
Okay.
Just for the car. I mean, and that's without putting parts into it.
You said $3,000 on your first car, which is not completely unreasonable. It's a little bit low, but I would say that you can get to the track on a $3,000 budget if you get the right formula. Guys like me and Thomas, we know how to do that because we've been there, we've done that. Somebody coming into the scene is obviously going to spend more money because you don't know the shortcuts, and you have to learn that the hard way. But with that, how do you get to the track for $3,000? You buy the cheapest, most reliable drift car available, and
in your area.
And you do the most minimum mods you can do that. What is the cheapest drift car? A V6 Mustang is the cheapest drift car, or a BMW E36 is your cheapest drift car. V6 Mustangs, people might even give those to you. Like, they're so cheap.
I've had people almost give me BMW E36s as well, almost free sometimes.
Exactly. V6 Mustangs, they're severely uncool. They're not very good looking in my opinion. But the thing is that motor puts out over 200 horsepower,
Stop.
It's a very simple chassis. It's easy to work on, and they're highly reliable. So with the basic minimum of modification, you can get that thing to the track at the track for under $3,000.
That sounds fairly reasonable. I mean, I think one of the most important things about drifting that scares people away is knowing how much money and time people spend on this stuff. Like, you know?
Yes, it's definitely a financial investment.
Have fun.
That you're just turning into tire vapor very quickly.
Smiles per gallon.
Oh, you measure it in smiles per gallon. If you're not having fun doing this, you definitely should not be doing this. This is all about having fun, and I think everybody who starts getting into this is having a great time, and it becomes addictive to the point of you need to figure out a way to be able to do it all the time, and here we are. I would love to do this all the time.
Yeah, I would say definitely the more you do it, you have to figure out ways of making it more sustainable. You have to figure out, what's going to last you the longest, what parts are going to last you the longest, where you want to invest more money into that's going to take you further, things like that. Starting out, you can actually, there's ways to get free tires.
I've heard.
Yeah.
There are some ways.
I've actually dumpster dived for tires when I was starting out because that's what you have to. Nobody can afford coming in.
We're not advocating any dumpster diving here. These are all past experiences.
Hey, look, the thing is...
I've done it as well.
Yeah, the thing is, you really have no idea what it's like, burning up brand new tires when you're coming into this thing. So, absolutely, if you know where there's a stack of tires somewhere that's getting put in the trash, or you can even ask tire shops that are throwing away tires, figure out, I'm telling you that you can get free tires.
Yes,
okay.
You can. If you try hard enough and you go to the used tire places, you can at least get stuff for cheaper.
Yes.
You can go into actual new tire places and try to talk to them. They can sometimes get you some good deals, but if you're willing to buy tires, I found honestly you're just going to find your best deal online a lot of times.
Yes.
Unless you're trying to you buy a very specific tire, and we can just get into a whole thing about tires. There's places you can go for that information about what's the best drift tire. That's a whole another episode.
Yeah.
But just getting to the track for free, I am definitely an advocate of used tires. I've actually come in first place at a U.S. Drift event before on used tires. That whole season, actually, I ran all used tires, didn't buy a single tire for the car, the truck, or the trailer that whole season. And, it can be done. That was just, if I wouldn't have gotten to the track, my budget was so tight then, that's the type of stuff I had to do. Yeah. Dude, when you get into drifting, everything you buy, you should be trying to buy used off Marketplace or Craigslist or something first, because any other dollar that you have available is potential money you could use to then go drifting. So, and then if for some reason you buy something used, you can take that and potentially use it for a little while. If you don't break it or whatever, you could potentially sell it for what you had or more. So always play the deals, be willing to negotiate. That's part of the fun, going out and figuring out how to do this longer with the least amount of funds.
So we talked about tires a lot. Obviously, you need to bring a lot of tires to events. What else do you need to bring to events? I mean...
So going to your first event, just getting out to the track, you're going to need your basics, your tool bag for sure. At this point, you've probably worked on your car enough to... have collected a couple of tools. If not, you should bring them. People will help you, but they're not going to do it for you. You're going to want to bring a jack. Any of your extra tires, of course, we said that. Let's see. You might definitely want to bring sunscreen. A lot of times that's, you forget that one. You get out there and...
Baby wipes.
I've had a heat stroke at an event.
Oh, wow. Goodness.
Water. For the heat stroke. You got to stay cool. If you got a big hat or something, you never know. Even when you're in the car. Bring a chair so you can sit down, and if you've got the budget, you can sometimes find those 10 by 10 tents for like $30 to $50.
Tents are very helpful.
Bring a little tent, pop-up tent, just to get out of the sun, because these tracks are built, and generally a lot of times there's no trees around. There's no natural shade. You're just out there baking the whole time.
Baby wipes.
Baby wipes?
Because drift events get really gritty. No, I'm not even joking. Drift events,
baby wipes.
He's like, for like 3 sentences of mine, he's like, I gotta get these baby wipes.
You gotta get them because you're out there all day. It's hot, it's sweaty, there's nowhere to wash your hands because there's no running water at these places. And
Some of them do, like Summit's got some water.
right, yeah. But, you're going to be gritty because all the dust is flying around. And you don't want to be, like, super nasty, like crusty when you get in the truck at the end of the day to go home.
Talk about where you found your first event. And so I found my first event just by going on Facebook. I looked up drifting events near me, and I ran into Summit Point. I ran into Drift Nirvana online. I was searching online on Facebook, and I might even have found a forum. Went to Drift Nirvana, drifted there, and at that event, I met a guy named Nick Pullen, and he invited me to Drift Valley, where I met those guys, Ben Williams and John and all those guys over there. And I just kind of grew up going to those same two tracks. They're basically my home track. I go there all the time.
Same thing, Facebook. My first event was at Summit Point. I ended up finding that, and from there you meet people, you find out when the next event is and where it is, and you go to those events, and you join the Facebook groups.
People start inviting you on Facebook groups to events. I don't even have to look for events anymore because everyone just sends me the event invites. Event coordinators send me invites at this point.
Yeah, I don't drive, but my first event was at Summit Point too. Seeing Thomas drift with that 8.6, yeah, the LS 8.6 and his LS Miata.
Nice.
Yeah, you and Jack. Yeah, it was a good time.
Jack Motorsports, shout out to those guys.
Yeah.
So guys, we're going to wrap up here. Again, I'm Thomas Miata. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Each and every one of you, if you could go ahead and smash that thumbs up button, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you thought. I'd really appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one.
See you guys.
All right. Fingers crossed that we got that with minimal mess ups and
I think with this, like we've been here a couple hours. Like this is the setup, and we're all close and like close proximity. Like we got the angles. Like
I think it'll be good.